Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 6 of Has Anyone Heard of the Left Right Game? Hopefully there'll be a part 7, but there is not currently. So if there is one, of course I will read it. So let's just jump right into the story. Hi guys, sorry it's taken a while to get this post up. I've been busy chasing leads with the U.S. missing persons. I won't waste any more of your time. Log us below if you have any information, then please send it my way. Thanks for your help, guys. It means a lot. Left Right Game, Draft 1, 12/02/2017. Science used to be an absolute. That's something I definitely miss. Back in the real world, it would stand as self-evident that a group of people saying absolutely nothing, by definition, could not be saying any less. Maybe things are different on the road. Maybe I just never encountered it before. But it's clear to me now that there are degrees beyond silence. A persuasive realm of defending quiet which, following the loss of Eve and Apollo, which our group has unresentedly embraced, constructed out of our own collective trauma, cemented with cruel mixture of grief, guilt, and harrowing self-doubt, it quickly becomes apparent that this silence is stronger than all of us. The challenge of breaking it remains unmet for the rest of the journey. What? We spent the next few hours burrowing through a featureless corridor of maze. The stalks rise far above the regular, leaving only a thin strip of clear sky visible, like the painted ceiling of a Renaissance church. I found myself glancing intermediately at the CB radio, half expecting, half hoping for Apollo's voice to crackle through the speaker, bringing words of comfort or a much-needed attempt at levity. After I catch myself staring at the radio for the 5th time, I decide it might be best to get on with my work. I plug my headphones into my notebook, bring up the audio files I've recorded thus far, and set about creating a very rough cut of our first day on the road. Apollo, yo, everybody knows Rob. Rob's gone, haha. I listened through Apollo's first interview, making notes for the closing paragraph on how he forced to write about him. When I have everything I need, I listen to the interview again, and then once more. It's not lost to me that I just wanted to hear his voice. It's not lost in a pleasant digital echo, far removed from the frantic screams that followed him to the asphalt. I listen to Eve's interview next. She bristles with excitement as she talks about her upcoming visit to Roswell, steadfastly attempting to recruit me to the effort. She had no idea what she was heading into when she stepped out of Rob's front lawn. Then again, none of us did. The thin strip of sky turns a deep orange as I reached our encounter with the hitchhiker. It's chilling to hear his voice after the fact, to revisit the convincing, veiled pleasantries he employed against us. I cringe as I hear Rob's hand grasp my arm, ashamed that I let myself fall to the hitcher's trickery. Rob V.O. You did good. I'm sorry for grabbing you. I just didn't want you to do something you'd regret. A.S. V.O. No, it's fine. I was going to. Do you know what happens if you talk to him? Rob V.O. Not sure. I came close once myself a few years back. The way he looks at you when he thinks he's got you. I don't think I want to know. A.S. V.O. Rob, I pause the audio files, click back 10 seconds before pressing play again. A.S. V.O. No, it's fine. I was going to. Do you know what happens if you talk to him? Rob V.O. Not sure. I came close with myself a few years back. The way he looks at you when he thinks he's... I certainly didn't notice that at the time. I was so shaken by my ride with the hitcher, and so curious about the abandoned car, that I'd completely been blind to anything else that had come my way. Maybe Rob misspoke. Maybe he meant to say weeks or months. But if it wasn't a mistake, if the truth was carelessly uttered, then Rob has something explaining to do. The Left Right Game was posted online in June 2016, less than a year ago. I glanced sideways at him, a wall cord rushing past us as we approached the rest stop. Though throughout this trip, every emotion Rob displayed has seemed genuine. The sadness, the anger, the concern. They tell a story of a man who cares deeply about the welfare of those around him. Yet at the same time, it's strikingly clear that there's something he isn't telling me. With every new piece of the puzzle, the card text message, the faceless creature with the ringing phone, I'm left with the dilemma of when to convert Rob Gruthard about what I know. I feel I've gathered enough to bring before him, enough to demand an explanation, but there is no way I'll be able to truly verify his answer. I have a collective of strange and perplexing notions, lacking in the common thread that could bring me to my workable conclusion. If I'm going to confront Rob, I need to uncover that thread. Much like the great journalists of our time, I should know the answer before I ask the question. The jeep pulls onto a large green space, staring straight ahead. I find myself puzzled by the way the ground seems to stop, as if the horizon lies only 20 meters away from the car. As soon as the engine cuts out, I buckle my seatbelt, I climb out and walk towards the grassy verge. The rest of the convoy pulls up behind me as I go. I stop a few steps away from the short edge, realizing we found our way to the top of a sheer cliff. A sudden swaying vertigo takes me over, forcing me to take a few steps back. It doesn't feel like we've been heading uphill. The road has been level since Jumpland, yet somehow I'm standing on the edge of a 400-foot rocky face, descending straight downwards, the distant earth shrouded by stalks of corn. That's the truly strange thing about this monolithic perception. On either side of me, the maze runs to the very edge of the cliff, and at its base, the endless harvest continues until it stretches beyond the darkening horizon in every direction. It feels like I'm standing on the cliff of Dover, staring at the golden ocean. In waves governed by the evening breeze, I wondered for a moment where it ends. Then taking consideration of the world I now occupy, I start to wonder if it ever does. A lyric scream rustling from my view. The source of the noise is blocked by the regular, and the first thing I see is the circle around the shocked, wide-eyed face of Bonnie and Clyde. With I make my way past the regular's hood, my expression mimics there. Like this pinned Blue Jay up to the side of the jeep, a locked forearm pressing her chest against the door. Her other arm has been grasped in Blue Jay's hands, desperately stopped before it could strike her across the face. The two of them yell through gritted teeth as Life struggles furiously against her, trying to cause her a considerable amount of harm. Blue Jay, get the fuck off of me, you bitch! Get off! I'll take a quick few steps over to Life as Blue Jay asks, Life, we can't do this, Jin. Life doesn't even register my presence as she continues her assault, defended by the bubbling vitriol in every growling breath. asks, Jin? We're not doing this now. Not after. Before I can comprehend what's happening, I'm staring at the sky, my head knocked back by the force of Life's flailing elbow. A hot, raw egg radiates across my lower lip as I stagger back, raising my hands over my mouth. Before Life can continue her assault, Rob swings his open door and takes two short strides over to her. He puts one arm around the girl's waist to pick her up, carrying her safely but firmly over to Bonnie and Clyde's ford, and plants her back on the ground. I seem to always forget how strong he is. Rob, God damn it, this is not the time. Life, take it back. Blue Jay has lost her usual sin demeanor, yet her aura still radiates an unbrutal scorn. In response to Life's demand, Blue Jay walks back to her car and sits on the hood. She takes the marble out of her pocket, continues with her lighter, and initiates the cigarette. I imagine the burning embers are the only company she's comfortable to accept right now. By the time I look back at the rest of the group, Life has stormed away. A.S. What did you say, Bonnie? I didn't hear it all. A.S. What did you say, Bonnie? Bonnie. We heard something about, she said Life was, that we were complicated. Rob, oh goddammit, Bristol, can you? I watch Life as she sits on the grass and looks over the cliffside as she begins to cry. Yet another strong notion that it's not something I should interrupt. I feel as if something between her and Eve, final act of reverential mourning reserved for them and them alone. A.S. Yeah, don't worry, I'll handle it. Rob, okay, I'll cook us something up. An hour passes. Life grows slowly calmer. drifting from lethargic release to a cold, wordless melancholy. Finishing up my dinner, I make my way over to her. Yes, it's a strange view. Blythe looks up at me, her face falls. Blythe, I cut you, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's fine, you should see the other girl. Like, yeah, I bet she looks like shit right about now. I help myself down to the cool ground, stands along Blythe to see the ocean. Blythe, Blue Jay thinks I'm complacent in what happened to Eve. Yes, I heard. Like, she used to think we were morons. Now she thinks we're all in on it. It doesn't make sense. Yes, I think she has to believe in this place is a lie. She needs it to make sense. And the harder it gets for her to rationalize, the more she... Anyways, she should have said what she said. She just... I guess the word is troubled. Like, she's a fucking thundercut is what she is. Yes. Okay? Like, she's right, though. I killed her. I killed Apollo, too. I look to Blythe, concerned, not quite sure what she means. Her eyes remained locked at the impossible horizon. Blythe, Sarah, she wasn't cut out for this, and she knew it. She wanted to turn back this morning, but I didn't want to. Yes. That wasn't just your decision, Blythe. Yes, it was. She followed my lead, always, through everything. And I knew why she was doing it. I knew. But I let her continue it because I was convinced. Because it was easy. Because deep down, I like having someone around who jumps through the fucking hoops for me. God, it's so fucked. Blythe resets her head in her hands. Blythe. She was weak. She was anxious and shy, but that should be okay, right? You're allowed to be weak. But I made her come here. I dragged someone who can't swim into the fucking deep end. And the last thing I did was lie to her. And she fucking knew it. Blythe takes a few deep frayed breaths. Yes. What do you... Blythe. I'm not, I loved her. You know, as a friend, it was always this fucking one-way street. And I don't think she minded, but then suddenly she vanished right fucking in front of me. And then what she said to me, I mean, was I supposed to respond to that? I had to say it back, right? Life maintains her composure as a steady stream of tears rolled down her cheeks. Yes. I don't know what to do in this situation. Life. I couldn't see it in her eyes. She didn't believe me. Fuck! I wonder how many people have died while being told, like, comforting lies. How many of them fucking knew? Yes. I think you did the best you could, Jen. I think you did better than most. Life. You didn't need to tell me just that. Are you tired? Do you need to go to bed soon? Yes. No, I don't need to. Life. There are some beers in Apollo's bag. Is that like looting or is that okay? Yes. I think he wanted us to have them, as long as he got a toast. Life laughs and briefly smiles. She walks over to Bonnie and Clyde's car, returning a moment later with a 4-pack. We spend the next half an hour slowly drinking them. Life can't muster the right words for a toast, so we just say thank you to Apollo, raising out cans into the open air. We talk about his tireless humor and his attempts to keep us all up during our first night on the road, how caringly he spoke to everyone, even at the edge of his death. We talk about Eve as well. About the pair's misadventures, awkward college parties, and the future of Pharaoh Moroccan. Blythe smiles and tells me there's always a place for me once the radio dies out. After everything that's happened on the road, the night can't help but feel bittersweet. But for once, on a solitary cliffside in the middle of nowhere, it's more sweet than it is bitter. That might not be much better, but at the end of the awful day, it's more than either of us could have hoped for. The next morning goes quickly. It's amazing how efficient a group of people can be when none of them feel like talking. Not only that, but breakfast has become more noticeably brief and fair. I managed to get through half a bag of trail mix before I found myself uncomfortably full. Rob's words about the road's sustaining properties ring in my ears as I look around the group. Everyone leaves their bowls half empty. Life hasn't eaten a bite. By this point, the lunch protocol has been dried into us. Despite the preoccupations and the fractious rifts developing between us, the cars line up like clockwork as they merge into the road. In fact, the mood of the group seems strangely particular. Our radio contact starts with the starting of a call sign, followed by that of the participant. The cars remain an even careful distance between one another. We've seen all too clearly what happens when the rules are neglected, and no one wants to chance anymore. A.S. How far are we? Rob. From where? A.S. You haven't got to the end of this road, right? I mean, we're still charting it. Rob. That's right. A.S. Well, how long until we get to uncharted territory? Rob. To be honest, not too long. A.S. What's going to happen once we reach that point? Rob. We're gonna keep driving. A.S. Until we get to the end? Rob. That's the plan. I won't judge you if you want to turn around. I'm sure you could talk someone into it. A.S. Could I talk you into it? Rob smiles. Rob. Afraid not. This trip ain't like the others. Road's kicking back like never before. I think it knows I'm coming. All the way this time. A.S. What is this place, Rob? Rob sighs as he slowly takes the next left onto a quiet, rural T-junction. Rob. I think it's a stray thread running off the spool. The radio crackles. Body. Rob, you just took the wrong turn. An instant drum of fresh panic hammers in my chest. I stare at Rob and he stares right back. I know he's feeling the same thing I am, though now he's not doing a much better job at keeping off his own pace. He thinks carefully for a moment. Rob. No, I've been down this road before. We took a right last time. A.S. Yes, the turn before this one was a right, I remember. Rob. Barryman, all cars. Thanks, buddy, for giving us the fright of our lives. We're on the right. We're on the correct road, buddy. No, that can't be. It's wrong. That's wrong. Martin, tell him. Clyde. Our mistake, Rob. Let's keep going. Life. Bristol. There's a concerned Lion's voice. I lean over to my wing mirror, attempting to gauge the atmosphere of the cars behind me. There is clearly some commotion between Bonnie and Clyde, in the latter attempting to gently remove the walkie-talkie from his sister's hands. There's something else, however, past Bonnie and Clyde, past Blue Jay, an old and dilapidated roadside made of weathered timbers and road strands on the road behind us. I can't read all the peeling letters grow ever smaller, but I can piece together what it probably once said. Wintry Bay, 5 miles. Bonnie, we're going to turn around right. A.S. 1 second, Bonnie. I'll check the map. I promptly switch off the radio. A.S. We're not passing through Wintry Bay. Rob turns to me, a puzzled look in my eyes. Rob, through where? In the wake of those two innocently inquiring words, my mind reels back to the morning of our third day on the road. Watching Bonnie and Clyde wander over to Rob to confess their transgressions with the hitchhiker. The quiet conversation that passed between them. Rob seemingly comforts their response. I felt like reaching in those moments. A few minutes prior, I had tricked and deceived Clyde. Yeah, I never once considered he might have done the same to me. A.S. Is it safe to pull over? Rob. What? Why? A.S. Is it safe, Rob? Rob. Yeah, it should be. A.S. Then pull over. Switch the radio back and grab the receiver. As I make the connection to Bonnie and Clyde's car, it's clear the argument is brewing. Life is asking for me, a helpless passenger caught in the middle of something she doesn't understand. A.S. Bristol to all cars. We're stopping up ahead. Rob seems acutely aware that I'm not messing around. As soon as we roll to a halt, I throw my door open and jump into the dusty roadside, striding along the rest of the convoy. Two are just starting to get out of their own cars. I'm conscious of the driving anger behind which step I take. A.S. You didn't tell him. Clyde. Bristol, Rob. What's going on, Bristol? Rob marches up behind me, more than a little restless to get a grip on my motives. Yes. Clyde? Clyde looks around in the circle to expect eyes. When he delivers his answer, he's unable to meet any of them. Clyde. Bonnie talked to the hitchhiker. Rob's expression shifts, his confusion degrades into a solemn understanding. Rob. God damn it! You knew about this, Bristol. A.S. I told them to tell you the morning of the third day. I saw them go over to you. I thought they did. Clyde. Bonnie, I thought you turned us around. Rob. Well, she's sure damn right. You see what happens when the rules get broken? You should have told me as soon as you saw me and headed right back home. Clyde. That was before Ace, before everything. I didn't know this place was. Rob. The rules are the rules, Clyde. Is anything even wrong with Bonnie? You said she gets confused. Was that a lie? Clyde doesn't answer. Avoiding Rob's glare, I process. What's Rob's just said? I said I'm surprised by the divulges of the two siblings. When I thought they were telling Rob about the hitchhiker, it appears they told him that Bonnie was, to some degree, senile. It was a simple lie, but one that would adequately explain her odd behavior, draw sympathy from Rob, and most ingeniously prevent him from telling me about their conversation. Truth buried beneath an unpleasant lie. Its subject matter, just uncomfortable enough to head off any chance of discussion. Still, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Clyde. We can go home if you want. Bonnie. No. The group turns to Bonnie and she speaks in a tone more decisive than I thought her capable. Bonnie. He, the hitchhiker? He was talking about a village we just passed. I was looking forward to seeing it. That's all. I'm okay, really. Yes, you've been talking about it a lot, Bonnie. Bonnie, it just sounded like a lovely place. I was sad that we passed by it. I'm sorry for worrying everyone. Please don't make us turn around, Rob. Rob stares back at them both. His position has just been made crystal clear. Rob, we're stopping a little earlier today. Come the rest of the way with us. Rest up, then tomorrow you both go home. You should count yourselves lucky you get a chance to turn around. Rob marches back to the regular, signaling that the discussion is over. Rob. Lythe, you're with us. Lythe doesn't even try to hide her relief as she shuffles away from Bonnie and Clyde and jumps into the back of the Jeep. It's a little heartwarming that Rob still has the awareness to look out for her, angry as he may be. As well as his surprising strength, I also tend to forget how receptive he can be. Bonnie, Clyde, and Blue Jay climb back into their respective vehicles. I catch Bonnie's eye the moment before she returns to the fort. She appears truly disappointed, but otherwise resigned to keep going, satisfied to let wintry Maine fade to the distance. It's comforting to hear that she's ready to put the place behind her. It's just a pity I don't have a word for it. Lythe. It was fucking weird, Bristol. Lythe seems happy to be in the regular, enjoying the sense of security in the molded faith of forts, and also greatly relieved to be away from Bonnie and Clyde. She spent at least 5 minutes detailing the 30-second argument that unfolded between them, turning into searches and nuances, as well as its eerie conclusion. Lythe. But I swear, she was basically like crying. Like, she didn't understand how we could be going the wrong way. But then, like, as soon as you pulled over and she just like stopped. Stopped. Yes. That must have been disconcerting. Lythe. You have no idea. So, Rob, when are these cornfields gonna fucking end? Rob, soon. We're gonna rest up for the night in a few turns. Then tomorrow, it won't be long until we're on track through the woods. Lythe, the fucking woods? Are you kidding? Are you talking like Sleepy Hollow, bleeding trees, or what? Rob, I wish I could tell you. Lythe, wait, what do you mean? Rob, I ain't been that far yet. It's new territory. Lythe, oh great. Maybe the cornfields aren't so. Lies goes quiet. She fixed with something in the rearview mirror before quickly turning around to get a better look out the back of the window. The car behind us is out of control. Bonnie is fighting to wrest the steering wheel from our brother. Ford swerves erratically behind us, driven mad by the pneumatic power struggle taking place inside. Rob sharply accelerates out of the way as the car behind us lurches drunkenly into him, skidding into a shuddering halt. Rob hits the brakes hard, and by the time I've turned in his direction, he's already slammed the door of the regular, swinging across to the tarmac to Blondie and Clyde. Rob, cut the engine. The Ford's engine goes silent in the absence of the rumbling rout. The new sounds emerge, the sounds of a struggle and of wild screaming. Stepping out of the car for the second time today, I jump over to cover the distance between us. Rob is attempting to pull a screeching Bonnie from the car. Even when he's in impressive strength, he seems to be challenged. Rob claws at the wall, trying to get her might to regain grasp on the steering wheel. Bonnie, please, please, let me go! Rob extracts Bonnie from the car and attempts to subdue her amidst a fury of flailing hands and elbows. She wrenches and kicks as he pins her arms to her sides. A.S. Bonnie, okay, calm down, okay? Let's talk this out. Bonnie, he told me it was on our way. He said we'd pass through it. Rob, he lied, Bonnie. Bonnie, no. We're going the wrong way. Bonnie lashes out again, striking at Rob's legs with her own. Rob holds her firmly, hit teeth gritting through every impact. It's clear the body isn't going to let up. I run back to the regular and open up the trunk. A few moments later, rummaging through my bag for the first aid kit and attempt to open the pack of white zip ties. A.S. Clyde opens the back door. Rob sees me staring at the zip ties. Even in the midst of Bonnie's incessant struggle, he looks at me with an almost questioning air, as if he's wondering how he'd ever arrived at this point, as if he's asking whether we can really do what I'm wordlessly suggesting. Bonnie answers the last question for him. In the slim few seconds of distraction, she slams her head back against his nose. Elliptically, a disgusting loud thud and painful growl from Rob, dazed and confused. His nose immediately fountaining blood. Rob manages to keep his arms wrapped around her, but it's clear this isn't going to be a sustainable, and that she isn't anywhere close to calming down. Clyde has opened the door, stepping back and looking out to the frightened child as he carries Bonnie over to the back seat of the Ford. I lean in before him, adjusting the headrest until it's pressed against the ceiling, ensuring that it can't be removed from the bracket, then looping a zip tie around each bracket of the fastening. Bluejay, what the fuck is going on? Bluejay stepped out of her car, making her way towards us. I realized that to someone who is fighting to not believe in any of this, in the following scene would appear at best a medallical facade, and at worst, as an attempt to the denotation of an innocent and distressed woman. Sadly, I don't have time to filter questioning. I climb into the car, Bonnie working constantly against as Rob eases her in after me, his hand on her hand to prevent him bumping against the top of the door frame. Once she's inside, I loop the second zip tie around one I've already fastened in the right bracket, forcing the right hand inside it. I pull the plastic towel over the sleeve of her jumper. I hope it's not too tight, but at the very least it's secure enough to keep her in place. Bonnie continues to pull against the zip ties, but it's clear her strength has been snapped by her spirited battle with Rob. I'm not quite able to look in her eye. I push a pile of luggage out of the way and climb to the other side of the Ford. Rob and I are both getting our breath back. The former pitching his nose has suggestingly switched low to the fresh pain. Bluejay, hey, what the fuck are you? You're not going to leave her like that, are you? Yes, get back to your car, Bluejay. I walk back to the regular, turning out Dennis's coarse protest. Rob reaches into his Jeep's seal-open trunk and pulls out a pile of blankets and pillows. In the rearview mirror, I could see him placing them on Bonnie's lap, giving her a place to rest her elbows. Then she leans her forehead against the back of her headrest, even with her face blocked from view. I can tell that she's crying. We arrive at the rest stop somewhere 20 minutes later, the fatigue outline of the dark green forest blooming on the horizon. It's early in the day that we would usually stop. Rob tells us that he wants an entirely tomorrow to chart the woods, as well as a good time to turn back before nightfall should need arise. I'm not complaining. I'm glad of the chance to rest up following today's events. For the rest of the day, we're taking turns on keeping an eye on Bonnie, making sure she has everything she needs, and when the four pulled up along us, Lithe and Rob, I expected to see us quivering wreck, tugging ceaselessly against her bonds. We were all surprised and more than a little disturbed to find her smiling. By the time my turn comes around, the sun is already dipping into the sky. Rob has prepared a small pot of miso soup, in case anyone can bring themselves to eat. I finish my bowl, all too aware of how unnecessary each meal now feels, and pour out half the helping for Bonnie. I find her in good spirits. Bonnie, how are you doing, Alice? Yes, I'm fine. How are you doing, Linda? Bonnie, I'm okay. Sorry for giving you all such a fight earlier. I feel really terrible. Yes, it's fine, honestly. I'm sorry about all this. I just wish you the zip tighter straight. Rob has reapplied the fastening bandages underneath the sharps to afford Bonnie a molecule of comfort. Still, in the scene rings with a sinister barbarity, which one kind consideration can make up for. Bonnie, it's okay, I wasn't myself. Yes, I brought you soup. I know you might not be hungry. Bonnie, no, I would love some, thank you. Everyone's being so lovely. Yes, well, we just want to make sure you're all right. I submerge a spoon-drenched in a measure of warm broth and begin to raise it up towards her. Bonnie, oh no, you don't have to. I can feed myself. She gestures to her bound hands and clearly empty clinks hanging in the air. Yes, no, I don't mind. I think it's... Bonnie throws away sideways, her elbow jabbing outwards and hitting the bowl out of my hands, soup spilling all over my fleece, and just a little cooler than scorching hot, and soaks immediately into the fabric. I back away reflectively and watch my expression flicker into a faulty light bulb from tranquil to utter burning contempt. It's gone as quickly as it appears, just in time for the rest of the group to look our way. Blue Jay, what's going on with her? Blue Jay storms across her car, angrily drawing for a marble and forcing the smoke dragging back into the air. Yes, nothing, just an accident, Bonnie. It's okay, Blue Jay. It was my mistake. Blue Jay, did she get any on you? Blue Jay leans in, placing her hands comfortably on Blondie before turning to fix me with a murderous stare. It's almost impressive how even when caring for someone, Blue Jay still manages to be simultaneously venomous to those around her. Bonnie, no, it's okay. It was my fault. It's fine. I'm sorry for causing trouble. My eyes follow when she gestures. I have to admit the helpless figure of Bonnie restrained in the back seat of the Ford rings with an innate inhumanity. When being forced to stare at my own actions in the face, it makes me feel utterly ghoulish. The choices I've made must seem insane to Blue Jay, but that doesn't mean hers are not. Despite her pretensions of rationality, I can't help but feel like Blue Jay's actions are simply being governed by a different insanity, an insanity born out of the desperate need to explain the unexplainable, which has morphed into an ugly cocktail of paranoia, self-regular, and feared antagonism. Blue Jay notes my silent expression and most likely taking it as a personal victory. Without another word, she returns to her car and shuts herself inside, festering silently and alone. Bonnie, do you want to know what's wonderful, Alice? Bonnie leans toward me, lowering her voice so no one else could hear. Bonnie, he told me there's a house waiting for me, my home by the sea. Yes. I'm sorry, Bonnie. I don't think it's there. Bonnie, it's going to be such a beautiful place, such a beautiful place. Bonnie flashes me a broad grin. Bonnie, it's been lovely knowing you, Alice. Bonnie turns away from me, placing her forehead against the back headrest. The grin doesn't fade as I turn away. I walk back towards the regular, faced with the choice of changing into new clothes or my thermal pajamas. After removing my fleece and laying down for just a moment, I end up sleeping in my clothes I'm wearing. When I wake up, the regular is moving. The air mattress reverberates, my body rocking as we make a sharp U-turn. I sit bolt upright, Lithe waking up to see me. Similarly, beady-eyed and confused, Rob is behind the wheel. The gears stick as he transports us down the road at incredible speed. A.S. Rob, what's happening? Rob, Bonnie got herself free. She's headed for the turn. I pull myself into the passenger seat, suddenly wide awake. Lithe, what? How did she get free? A.S. Is she with Clyde? Rob, she hit him over the head, dragged him out of the car. I couldn't wait for him, but he's catching up. Lithe and I turned around, Blue Jay's car skating on us, a distant pair of high beams suddenly drowning the rear view in the light. Lithe, why is Blue Jay helping him? A.S. She probably wants to keep an eye on us. Rob, do you think we'll catch up with Bonnie? Rob, I'm working on it. The regular continues to rocket through the darkness. We continue our eyes fixated forward, scanning the very edge of the horizon for any sign of Bonnie's form. When Blue Jay pulls alongside us, I get a look at the pair. Blue Jay is not but steadily determination, decidedly to reaching Bonnie before we do. Clyde looks mortified, rocking my sister's actions. A small concussion on his head to mark her viscous betrayal. Rob screeches to a halt once we arrive at the junction. Blue Jay's headlights are already illuminating the road to Wintry Bay, and Rob's lights raincoat the eerie area to the artificial twilight. In the middle of all of it, we see Bonnie, standing next to her car, smiling. She's already beyond the threshold of the turn. Clyde, Linda, please come back now, okay? Bonnie, you can come with me. There's a place for all of us. He told me there's a place for everyone. Clyde, please, Linda, you have to come back. The strange trail of the black dust is steaming off Bonnie's skin, rising into the air and dancing in the breeze. After a moment, it becomes clear that the edges of Bonnie are slowly disintegrating, converting quietly into the darkness, ash, and drifting into the atmosphere. Bonnie, I love you very, very much, Martin. You're always welcome. Clyde, no, please, please. Bonnie turns around and climbs into the car without looking back. She pulls away into the road to Wintry Bay. The trail of black particles rise from the Ford as she goes. With greater and greater volume, the entire car starts to wither away before her eyes. Less than a minute later, the Ford with Bonnie inside it gradually dissolves into dust and scatters into the winds. Clyde doesn't speak. His entire being is quiet. Life immediately runs back to the regular. Rob waits for a while, staring at the dancing cloud of dust before putting his arm around Clyde and gently escorting him to the Jeep. As I turn away from the road toward Wintry Bay, I take note of Blue Jay's reaction. She looks absolutely petrified. More so than I've ever seen her. She impulsively removes the pack of marbles from her pocket and holds them in her hand before quickly returning them unsmoked. The night passes slowly. After we return to the resting stop, all of us are exhausted and more than willing to surrender to the exhaustion of sleep. Rob rests in the driver's seat, giving up his place on the air mattress to Clyde. Everyone drops quickly enough to a quiet slumber, leaving me awake with only my thoughts for company. I find myself thinking of Blue Jay, of how she could possibly hope to rationality and disintegration of Bonnie and her car. I wonder how I'd feel if the left-right game were exposed as some air-pearled magic trick. Would I feel foolish? No, I don't think so. Impressed, maybe. Relieved. Most definitely. In fact, more than I think about it, more than I miss the innocent days when I believed the game was a hoax. I suppose I see why Blue Jay's so adamant about dismaying this place. Trickery, however elaborate, is in most ways preferable alternative to genuine horror. The Jeep doors open and shut. A part of me tries to ignore it. I wash my hands and other developments in the harrowing night. However, exiled as I am from the kingdom of sleep, I now find myself sitting up, quietly putting on my boots and letting myself out. Step out to the cool night, observing the figure before me. A.S. Where are you going, Clyde? Clyde turns to face me. I intentionally interpret the look he gives me as one recital, but the word doesn't quite fit. Recital is a defeat. The word exactly compliance from against your own wishes. But the man before me is calm. For the night air around him, his wishes are clearly his own, but there's no defeat in his eyes. For something else, entirely peace, maybe. Clyde, do you know where I'm going, Alice? Clyde speaks softly, a quiet conviction behind every word he says. I briefly glance toward the regular, wondering if I'm really equipped to handle this on my own. Clyde, don't call Rob. I made a mistake coming back to the rest stop. I shouldn't have done. Please, just let me go. A.S. Clyde, just wait for tomorrow, okay? He'll understand. He'll turn us around and take you home. Clyde, you won't be home anymore. Clyde's gentle stare renders me silent. Clyde, Linda had a husband once. He was a good man, died young. She could never bring herself to go looking again, and I never found who I was looking for. We've been each other side by side for 60 years. 60 years! I gotta be honest. Even after all that we've been through, everything you and I have seen, I never felt like I was in a new world until now. A.S. I don't think I can let you do this, Clyde. Clyde, I'm sorry, Alice, but it's not up to you. Clyde breathed the cool night air, exhaling through his nose. Clyde, I yelled at her to come back when she ran off to rob that ice cream parlor. Kept calling out and calling out. I spent so much energy trying to get her to come back to me. After a while, I realized she wasn't coming back. Then I have to follow her. Should have realized it earlier. That's all I can do. Follow where she goes. Clyde looks at me, almost apologetically. Clyde, goodbye, Alice. He turns away from the convoy and wanders back down the road. A.S. Clyde? He turns around one last time. Do you want company? It takes roughly an hour for us to walk back to the junction. In the time we have, I'm treated to the story of Bonnie and Clyde. The warmest fragments of their life together, the moments that built them, the waves that rocked them, and the places that they once called home. I don't think I'll ever agree with what Clyde's doing. But the more he talks, the more I understand. His story spanned more than half a century, supported by a transit cast of acquaintances and friends. But at the core of each of the tales is a pair of siblings who meant the world to one another. A pair that existed as two relative souls, qualified only in relative to each other. In the absence of one, the remnant was definable, a drifting point, unanchored in space. The story ends just as we reach the junction. A.S. Clyde, I hope so too. Thank you for coming with me. I know it's late. A.S. No, it's never a bad time to see a friend off. Clyde smiles at me one last time before turning to face the road. He steps onto the threshold, past the old wood sign. In the silence of the night, I hear nothing but his soft footsteps and the quiet breeze, which after a few minutes carries the last of him into an open sky. It's a long walk back to the convoy. My mind is numb to fear as I make my way through the dark, the cord rustling in the wind beside me. It's been 4 days since I arrived at Rob Guthrie house. I sat down at his table and listened to him to speak about the new world he discovered. In that time, I've seen things I can't hope to comprehend. Sights that exist beyond the spectrum of our reality. Things I would have deemed possible. For all I know, there is a wintry bay. A body has already arrived at her house by the sea, standing at the door, waiting for the quiet confidence of her brother's arrival. I may never know, but I do hope they find each other, wherever they may be. Okay, guys, so that was the 6th part of Has Anyone Heard of the Left-Right game? So now you guys are all caught up to speed with what he's posted so far. And I know you guys are seeing this much later than I'm recording it. But currently it is 12/6/2017. And tomorrow is my birthday! Yay! Yay! So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye!